Power2U is an ongoing project within InnoEnergy business line. It aims to unlock, aggregate, and manage energy flexibility in a multi-sided platform business model. And we kind of utilize leading edge technologies and solutions within InnoEnergy community and business partners. And to go to the market strategy, our first target customers are the regional real estate companies. And we will start from Sweden, but our goal is to go to as a international business. And the next step for us is to team up with the right partner so that we can grow faster and stronger. At the same time, when all the conditions are favorable, we're probably gonna provide this peer-to-peer energy retailing business. Mm-hmm.
What blockchain applications are the most promising in the energy sector?
Mm-hmm. In order to expand the usage of blockchain technology in energy sector, I would say use the smart contract is quite important or promising. So to say, like, for example, the more sophisticated transaction requirements or user case conditions can be added on this smart contract layer. And at the same time, in short, all sort of interactions between parties can be implemented automatically or digitally. And in this way, I would say blockchain technology will be used more efficiently in energy sector. And furthermore, a visionary concept is to add in big data and predictive task automation on this smart contract so that this smart contract can become a more decentralized unit. And at the same time, with a very high degree of autonomy, and also they will build on their own laws. So, which is to say, to promote the decentralized use of blockchain more in this energy sector.
Explain for me the concept of Eve integrated with blockchain technology.
The primary function of this Eve service is to allow the end users, for example, some tenants living in the residential housing buildings and some employees in the offices, they can book a car through this Eve service, this Eve platform for driving. So this is so-called Eve driving. And the second function is to allow the residential housing building owners or carpool owners to utilize the e-mobility battery for their building use. For example, peak shaving of their facility load. At the same time, they can rent out this capacity to the external energy market. And then the third step is for the external energy market players, for example, transmission system operator, BRPs, balancing responsible party, and the distribution system operators. They can use this rent-out capacity from the Eve platform for frequency control of the grid, and also for congestion management and portfolio imbalancing. And then when it comes to the integration with the blockchain technology, the Eve services or functions will be more interesting. For example, in the primary market, the functions we just mentioned can be implemented, and people can use the Power2U token to buy different services upon their needs. For example, individuals can drive, the building owners, they can rent out and gain some revenues from this flexibility, electric vehicle flexibility. And then in the secondary market, where actually the Power2U token will be traded among like the users, among the investors. At the early stage, some investors gonna buy this Power2U tokens through some digital currencies, but then at later stage, they could trade like this token. And then when it comes to this global market, as long as this token possesses some kind of certain level of liquidity, and then the business model of Eve, of Power2U will be sustained. And then people can use this token globally just to access to the Power2U service portfolio or access to the Eve services. And in a long run, this token or blockchain-based technology gonna boost the service development of Power2U in general. Mm-hmm.
Explain the concept of the blockchain-based energy retailer. How does that work?
So since we want to solve the problem of the unprofitable condition of the prosumers, so to say, those are the people who own solar panel generation, but probably at some times they couldn't use all the generation on their own. So they want to share or sell out their electricity. But under some conditions, they couldn't get all the profits. So we want to create some value-added services for them to solve this problem, at the same time to raise the renewable awareness of the consumers, normal consumers. So we provide these value-added services first to the retailers on this existing electricity contract, and then to deliver the end users, prosumers and consumers, for electricity trading through a peer-to-peer scheme.
How does energy retailing work today in Sweden, and how will that change under the scheme?
Mm-hmm. Currently, the end consumers, they subscribe a contract, electricity contract with a local retailer, and then they pay electricity fee of the cost, and also grid fee and retail service fee, and also energy tax, VAT, and some certificate. So this is the current situation. But how would it be changed? For example, the situation I described, like more and more end users, they have now solar generation, decentralized generation. And in this case, like people want to trade electricity in the local community. And then we kind of introduce this peer-to-peer energy contract so as to allow some end users, consumers who wants to buy electricity from the local community. They can do it now on this P2P contract, but they have to pay premium fee, because at the same time they will get some benefits from this local energy trading. For example, they can rent out their availability of the energy assets, so they can consume this local renewable energy for real. At the same time, they will receive the real-time data, so they kind of track what and how they use these local renewables. And at the same time, they are empowered to vote for the new PV installations in their local community. And then on the other hand, for the prosumers, they will get some financial support from the local end users, and then they get incentive to run their renewable generation and to kind of compensate their investment on the solar panels. Mm.
So what happens next?
Next, when this value-added service, peer-to-peer energy contract is introduced by the retailers, so the end users, the consumers, they will pay the extra premium fee, and then within this kind of consortium, the end user, consumer, and prosumer, and also retailer, and also the peer-to-peer energy contract operator, they will kind of split this premium fee. For example, for retailer, they are kind of running this electricity bill or structure for all the end users in this case, so they get certain amount of fee for that. And then for the new contract operator, for example, Power2U, it will get also some small certain percent of premium fee. And then for most important, for the prosumers, they will get most part of the premium fee, so as to compensate their local generation and the contribution to the peer-to-peer energy sharing. Yes.
You're going to need to get consumers to change their behavior. How do you go about doing that?
Mm-hmm. We need to give them some incentive. So although they are paying some extra premium, but we also want them to feel good about this, because they are consuming local electricity, they are consuming the renewables, renewable generations. So we want to introduce this sustainability column. We kind of can give them some discounts when their assets, energy assets, consume the local generation surplus for real. So, which means as long as the system verify their real generation of their real consumption of the local generation surplus in the real time, and this system will also automatically reduce their electricity bill a bit based on the definition of the sustainability code on the peer-to-peer energy contract.
So what's the final message you'd like to send from Power to You?
Yes, as a member of Power to You, I would say like we're using the bottom-up approach to create values, needs, and new trends during this transition period of energy sector. And we want to engage the end customers, the consumers, with the most cost-effective, energy-efficient, and decentralized sustainable solutions and services. And we are ready for revolution.